Marge, on mute.
Hari Bol, Hari Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams.
I'm very sorry. Actually, I came to Vrindavan and then
Oh,
there was some urgent work,
okay.
so could not avoid that. I'm very sorry.
No problem.
But happy to be in Vrindavan after a long time. So I will begin the class today. I'm so
Sure.
happy that at least, although I came late, some devotees are still holding on. Abhiram Prabhu called me, my god brother. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Params.
Dana, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Dana, Radhe. So, Guruve Gaurachandra, Radhikaya, Krishna, Vishnu Bhaktaya, Bhaktaya, Namo Namaha. First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to Bhagavad Asmade Guru Path Padma Mitala Prates Guru Shukshila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Offer obeisances to lotus feet of Tridendi Sannyasi Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj, Namnishta Santa Shri Aniruddha Das Prabhuji. All the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are gathered here, please accept my humble obeisances. So we are discussing Bhagavad Gita, verse number 3.36. Arjuna Vacha Athakena Prayuktoyam Papam Charati Purusha Anicham Api Varshneya Baladiva Niyojita. Arjuna Vacha. Arjuna said, Atha, then, Kena, by what? Prayuktaha, impelled. I am one papam since charati does. Purushaha, a man, anichan, without desiring, api, although, varshneyaha, or descendant of Vrishni, balat, by force, eva, as is, niyojitaha, engaged. Arjuna said, or descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly as if engaged by force? A living entity, as part and parcel of the Supreme, is originally spiritual, pure, and free from all material contaminations. Therefore, by nature, he is not subjected to the sins of the material world. But when he is in contact with the material nature, he acts in many sinful ways without hesitation, and sometimes even against his will. As such, Arjuna's question to Krishna is very sanguine as to the perverted nature of the living entities. Although the living entity sometimes does not want to act in sin, he is still forced to act. Sinful actions are not, however, impelled by the supersoul within, but are due to another cause, as the Lord explains in the next verse. So here, Prabhupada is telling that although the living entity sometimes does not want to act in sin, he is still forced to act. Sinful actions are not, however, impelled by the supersoul within, but are due to another cause, as the Lord explains in the next verse. So now this is Prabhupada's explanations, and then we'll study Srila Vishwanath Thakur's explanation, where he's discussing Atakenam Prayuktamam Papam Jarati Purusha Anichapi Varshneya Baladiva Niyojita. Although not desiring to sin, why the living entity is sinning? That is actually a question. So, अथ प्रयुक्त अर्जुन वाच अथ प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पूरुषा अनिच्छम अपि वार्ष्णेय बलाद इव नियोजितः. Arjuna vacha. Arjun said, Atha, then, kena, by whom, prayukta is engaged, ayam, this, papam, sin, charati, he performs, purushaha, person, anichan, unwillingly, api, even, varshneya, O Sri Krishna, descendant of Vrishni, Balat, by force, eva, as if, niyojitaha, engaged. Arjuna said, "Oh Krishna, our descendant of Vrishni, what is it that seems to forcibly impel a person to engage in sinful deeds, even though he is unwilling to do so?" Sarartha Varshini. Earlier in Gita 3.34, it was said, Raga Dveshau Vyavastito. Even a man of discrimination can develop attachment to sensual activities, such as the desire to enjoy another's wife, which are forbidden in scripture. In this connection, Arjun asked this question beginning with the word atha. What is it that impels a man to engage in sinful activities against his will, as if by force, even though he is well aware of the regulations and injunctions of the scriptures? In other words, who impels a person to desire to engage in sinful activities. So in this verse, Arjun has addressed Bhagavan as Varshney. Krishna appeared in the Vishnu dynasty of Arjuna's material grandfather and grandmother. Shursen was also born in the same Vishnu dynasty. His son was Vasudev, Krishna's father, and his daughter Prutha was Arjun's mother. The hidden indication in Arjuna's prayer to Krishna is, since I belong to the same dynasty as you, you should not neglect me. At present, I have fallen into a pit of doubts. You have just said that the soul, Atma, is completely distinct from inert qualities or mundane relationships. Gita 2.13.31. Who then impels the jivas to engage in sinful acts if such action is not their constitutional nature? So here you see that Raga Dvesha Vivastita. Even a man of discrimination can develop attachment to sensual activities, such as the desire to enjoy another's wife, which are forbidden in scripture. So you see that the moon was attracted to Brahaspati's wife Tara. So this is quite going on until we develop prema. Today actually I attended my god sister Vichitri Didi. And so she said, Maharaj, when Premdas Shastriji is giving class, he's a very elevated devotee. He comes for our Rupa Goswami conference. I think from Gurudev's time he comes. He's a very bhajanshil Mahatma. Not necessarily Gaudiya Mat, maybe Babaji Sampradaya, but you can ask Shripa Danti Maharaj that, which is telling. I said, Maharaj said, all right, go ahead. You can attend that if you want. So I went there and he was speaking about Vrishabhanu Maharaj. Then Maharaj Premdas Shastriji was telling that he told us a nice story about Radharani. He told us that one time Radharani was very late for Ras Leela. Very late for Ras Leela. Krishna was waiting for her. Then finally she came. And when she came for Ras Leela, she had rice and kadhi on her hand. Kadhi is basically made from curd. And I think kadhi is by chance, giving chance. Matajis would know better. They gave a chance to the curd and they put some jeera, cumin seeds. So that is basically kadhi is made. It's a very delicious and wholesome meal, kadhi and rice. If you have that, it's all right. Generally speaking, what I heard is that you cannot take curd in the night, but kadhi is fine even in the night. It doesn't hurt you. So anyways, Radharani's hand had kadhi and rice. So Krishna asked her, what happened? Why your hand is covered with kadhi, this yogurt preparation and rice? She said, you are attracting. She told Krishna that you are very attractive. You attract all the devotees to Vrindavan. And then, but you don't maintain them. I have to maintain them. Poshan. Generally, the man in the house, he will bring the groceries and he'll put them on the table. And then it is the wife who's always cooking, cutting vegetables, and she's the one in charge for the kitchen. The husband will not do anything. The wife will do everything. So Radharani told Krishna that you are attracting everyone to Braj. Everyone comes to Braj. Sadhus come. And you don't maintain them. I have to maintain them. So I have to survey entire Vrindavan all night till make sure that everyone has been fed properly and everyone has eaten. No one is going hungry in Braj. And then I have to come for Ras Leela. So I was late today. There was a group of sadhus, they had come and they were hungry. so I thought it is quite unjust that they have come to my dham and and for your darshan, and they're sleeping hungry. So I personally went there and I cooked rice, I cooked kadhi, and I fed them. And then I came for Rasti. So Poshana means actually nourishment. So that is what is Radharani is doing. So Maharaj told this story. How Radharani, she is very compassionate. Then another point he was making that Das Goswami, I think what scripture I was reading, I don't know, but he said that Vrishabhanu Maharaj, he told the meaning of the word Vrishaba. Bhanu. Bhanu means the sun. And Vrisha means actually one particular zodiac sign. Vrisha. In Sanskrit, I know Vrishaba. In English, I wouldn't know, or Latin, I wouldn't know what it is called. Vrishaba, Vrishaba sign. So, so when the sun is in the sun, actually, as you know, that in Bhagavatam, that the sun travels to 12 zodiac signs. And when the sun is in the Vrisha Rashi, Vrisha zodiac sign, then the sun is extremely hot. So he was telling that Vrishabha Manu means the sun is the powerful king like a sun who is the hottest, because the sun is not hottest in all the months. But when the sun is especially passing through the Vrishab zodiac sign, the sun is hot. So he said Vrishabhanu Maharaj is so powerful. He said for us, Vrishabhanu Maharaj is more powerful than Nanda Maharaj. Because Radharani is nourishing us. She is bhakti. She is actually in bhakti, but she is the condensed bhakti. Because bhakti also passes through different stages. Like as we are studying in Madhurya Kadambini, that Shraddha, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem, then Sneha, Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav. So the highest, most condensed form of bhakti is Mahabhav. And the embodiment of that Mahabhav is Srimati Radharani. So he's telling that Das Goswami and other acharyas are glorifying Vrishabhanu Maharaj even more than Nanda Maharaj. So Vrishabhanu Maharaj, he is telling that I have one son by the name Sridham, and I have one daughter by the name Radharani. But among them, I love Radharani more than I love Sridham. And he said he is the inaugurator of this particular system, or the system of respecting the female gender. He told, Maharaj was telling. Because he was telling that, Babaji was telling that generally speaking in India, when a girl is born, they kind of get morose. And if the son is born, they distribute laddus. But when daughter is born, there is no celebration. Everyone will lower their head and they will be very morose. Alas, alas, one daughter has taken birth, So how to maintain her and we have to get her married, that, so much responsibility. But Vrishabhanu Maharaj, he had a very big celebration when Radharani was born. So he's actually giving more preference to his daughter. He said, no, you may love your sons, but I will love my daughter more. So Vrishabhanu Dadhi Navashashi Lekhe, Lalita Sakhigana, Ramita Vishakhe. So Premdas Babaji was telling that it is Radharani. No, it is Radharani. Bhakti is given by Radharani. But Radharani also, we would not know the mood of Radharani. Then he quoted a verse from Purvana Saraswati Pad that Prema Namad Bhutartha Shravana Patagata Kasya Namnam Mahimna Ko Vekta Kasya Vrindavana Vipina Maha Madhurisha Pravesha Koa Janati Radham Paramarasa Chamatkara Madhurya Sima Ekas Chaitanya Chandra Parama Karunaya Sarvam Avishakara. It was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who revealed to us the love of Radharani. What is Radharani's love? So Radharani is Ashray Jatiya Vastu and Krishna is Vishay Jatiya Vastu. But here Krishna is trying to understand the mood of Ashray Jatiya Vastu, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, but as a perverted nature, the lust is attracting us. So although there is no need to be attached to someone else's wife, but you see that there is suddenly the desire comes to enjoy someone else's wife, which is strictly forbidden in the scripture. Because you see that Parikshit Maharaj was chastising Kali Yuga. Then Kali Yuga told him that Brahmaji has given me this age. So I have to rule on this age. So you cannot just banish me from your kingdom. You have to give me some place to stay. Then Parikshit Maharaj said, all right, I give you 4 places where you can stay. So what are those 4 places which Parikshit Maharaj allotted to the Kali Yuga? They were actually the place where illicit sex goes on. Means sex out of marriage, wedlock or something, means someone else's wife or something, and gambling, intoxication, meat eating, where all these things are going on, Kali Yuga can stay. But then some people they say that, oh, Parikshit Maharaj was then the Kali Yuga said, where else I should stay? Suppose someone will not break the regulative principles like meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit sex, then what will happen? I will not be able to influence them. So give me one more place where I can influence them. Then Parikshit Maharaj said that you can influence the places where there is a lot of gold. So that time, Parikshit Maharaj was wearing golden crown. And then it apparently Kali Yuga entered into his golden crown and Parikshit Maharaj offended Shamik Rishi. That is what many people say. But actually, this is not what our acharyas say. Parikshit Maharaj was so strong that Kali Yuga could have never influenced him. He's a pure devotee of Krishna. He has seen Krishna when he was in the womb of the mother. Krishna not only was in the womb of the mother to protect him from Brahmastra, but was circumambulating with a club in his hand and chakra in his hand, so that the Brahmastra will not hurt him. How can that great personality like Parikshit Maharaj be influenced by the Kali Yuga? So actually, this is incorrect to say that. So we have to follow these regulative principles. But sometimes the people fall prey to this type of vicious tendencies to enjoy with someone else's wife. So in this connection, Arjuna asked this question beginning with the word atha. What is that impels a man to engage in sinful activities against his will, as if by force, even though he is well aware of the regulations and injunctions of the scriptures? So in other words, who impels a person to desire to engage in sinful activities? So here Arjuna has asked, addressed Sri Bhagavan as Sri Varshne. Krishna appeared in the Vrishni dynasty. Vrishni. So Vrishni was one of the kings. And he was Arjuna's maternal grandfather and maternal grandmother. Vrishni dynasty is the Arjuna's maternal grandfather and maternal grandmother dynasty. Shursen was also born in the same Vrishni dynasty. So Krishna is a descendant of Shurasen, so that's why it's called Shauri. Tasam Avirbhu Shauri Smayaman Mukham Bhuja Pitambardarastragvi Sakshat Manmatha Manmatha. Sometimes Gopi, they address Krishna as Shauri. Shauri means who's descendant of a Kshatriya by the name Shurasena. Because Gopis sometimes they chastise Krishna. They say that you are Shauri. Shauri means you are descendant of a Kshatriya, so you are very hard-hearted. You left us during the Ras Leela and you left without us and you gave us a hard time. So we call him Shauri. So here Gopis are actually rebuking him when they correct him to Shurasena. So, for example, you see that one time Vishwamitra Rishi was there. He came to Dasharath Maharaj and he said that when I do perform sacrifice, one demon by the name Marich comes and his mother by the name Tadka comes. And Tadka, she doesn't let me complete my fire sacrifices. So please give your 2 sons to me and they will kill this Tadka. So Dasharath Maharaj was reluctant. Dasharath Maharaj said that my son is not at 16 years old. No. A Kshatriya, he can fight when he's 16-year-old. But that time Ramchandra was 15 years and 11 months old. Because he was 1 month younger than his age, 16 years. So, but Vishwamitra said, no harm. You can still give your sons to me. And it will be for their Kalyan. Kalyan means auspiciousness. But actually, Kalyan has another meaning. Kalyan means also marriage. Like in Bangalore, they say Kalyan Mantapam. Means the shade where the marriage is performed. Kalyan means marriage also. So Vishwamitra was telling that these boys will not only kill Tadka and not only chastise her son Marich, they will also not deliver Ahalya from the curse of her husband Gautama, but they will also get married if you send them with me. Because after that I will go to Nepal and I'll get them married to Sita, to Ram to Sita and Lakshman to Urmila. Understand? So like this. So then he asked Vasishtha Rishi. Then Vasishtha Rishi told that don't worry, give your sons to Vishwamitra. He knows many weapons. He knows many mantras, and he can invoke many mantras, and he can teach the art of archery, and he can give you many mantras and many weapons to your son. So it will be for their benefit, and don't worry about the safety of Ram and Lakshman. So, anyways, Ram and Lakshman went with Vishwamitra. So one of the glorification which Dasharatha was giving for Ram is that he was telling that he's Kamala Nayana. My son is Kamala Nayana. How can I give my son whose eyes are like lotus to you? The point he was trying to make that the lotus will bloom in the daytime and night time the lotus will close. He said, my son will sleep early and night time he has to fight with demons. He'll be having sleepy eyes. So my son will not be able to fight with demons. But Vishwamitra didn't allow. He said, no, your son has to come with me. And when now the question is that if Ram can go alone and kill the demons, then why Lakshman has to also go with Vishwamitra? Because our Ramayana says that Ram is the Bahirgata Prana of Ram. Lakshman is the Bahirgata Prana of Ram. Means actually Ram's external life air is Lakshman. See, there are two pranas. One prana lives in our heart, and another prana is outside. For example, I can say that, my son is my prana. I love my son, or I love my Gurudev like my very life air. What does it mean? It means that I have my life airs, prana, jnana, apan, saman, udan in my heart. But also, my Gurudev is also as dear to me as my very life. Like we sing, na? मेरे मन में समाए हो मुझे प्राणों से प्यारे हो मुझे प्राणों से प्यारे हो नित माला जपूं तेरी मेरे दोष भुला देना गुरुदेव दया करके मुझको अपना देना. So prano se pyare ho. Gurudev, you are more dear to me than my very life here. So means Bahirgata Prana. So Rama's Bahirgata Prana is Lakshman. That's why Lakshman said, I will not stay without Ram. So both went actually to the forest to kill the demons, to chastise the demons. So here we can see that the word Kamala Nayana can be used to indicate something. Gopi is also called Krishna Kamal Nayana. अगदमने शोदानंदनो नंदसूनो कमल नयन गोपी चंद्र वृंदावनेन्द्राम प्रणत करुण कृष्णा व्यतिरेक स्वरूपे त्वयि नमोच्चरित. Gopis call Krishna Kamal Nayan because they are telling Krishna that he came in the dead of night, we were not Shiva, and you are not seeing her beauty because your eyes are like lotus which close in the night time. So you are not able to see her beauty, so you are Kamal Nayan. They are rebuking Krishna. So here, Krishna is called Vasudev. Vasudev. Vasudev is Krishna's father. And his daughter, so Sursen had a son by the name Vasudev. Vasudev, Krishna's father. And as you know that Vasudev was married to who? He was married to Devaki. When he was married to Devaki, that time, there was an aerial sound. And the reins of the horses were in the hands of Kamsa. Kamsa was actually brother of Devaki, and he was so much older than Devaki that she was almost like his daughter. But when he heard the disembodied voice, maybe the demigods have made that voice that eighth son of this girl will kill you, immediately caught hold of her hair. That time Vasudeva Maharaj told a very nice verse. He said, मृत्यु जन्मवताम राजन मृत्युम जन्मवताम वीर देहेन सह जायते अद्यवाब्द शताब्देवा मृत्युर्वे प्राण नाम ध्रुवा. He addressed Kamsa as Veera, oh chivalrous person. You should understand that as soon as you are born, your death is also born. Means when your body has taken birth, your death has also taken birth along with your at the day of your birth, death also has taken birth. Means the moment we are born, our countdown has begun. Means our countdown is like 100, 99, 98, 95, like rocket. When you are launching a rocket, there's a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. Like, the space center in, say, John F. Kennedy or whatever it is, or in India, ISRO, near Sriharikota. They're launching a rocket. The countdown is negative, the descending numbers. So, like that, our countdown has begun. So, Mrityur Devatam Veera Dehena Sajayate Adyavabda Shatabdeva Mrityur Pranayam Dhruva. Today or after 100 years, you certainly have to die. You cannot avoid death. So why you're afraid of death? And he said, don't kill this girl. She is like your daughter. You are afraid of her sons? I will give you all her sons to you. You can kill them. So like that. So anyways, there he used the logic that you should try to delay the death as much as you can. And he tried to delay the death of Devaki. So you see that was Vasudev, son was Krishna. And then Shurasen's daughter's name was Prutha. She was Arjuna's mother. So basically, previously what happened that they used to, what they call it, daughter. For example, Kunti Bhoj had no daughter. So Shurasen offered his daughter to her, said, you can adopt my daughter. So the Shurasen's daughter Prutha was adopted by the great king called Kunti Bhoja. So therefore she came to be known as Kunti, as the daughter of Kunti Bhoja. Same thing happened with, Dashratha Maharaj, right? Dashratha Maharaj. That Rama had one sister. And Shanta, her name was, I think, Shanta. And she was offered in marriage to Rishashringa Rishi, I think. Rishashringa Rishi. So anyways, Rama's sister also was adopted by, adopted by some other king, and then she was married to Rishashringa Rishi or something. I was reading that in Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam describes that. But not many people know that. Like Krishna had a sister, right? Krishna had one sister by the name Subhadra. She was also Devaki's daughter. So Devaki totally begot 8 sons and one daughter, Subhadra. 6 sons were killed by Kamsa. They were actually the sons of Kalanevi, and they were cursed because they laughed at Brahma when Brahma was running behind his own daughter. As a result of Mahadvatikrama, it is offending a great Vaishnava. They had to take birth and they had to be repeatedly killed by their own father by the curse of Lord Brahma. But then Balram and Krishna were born from the womb of Devaki, and then one more daughter was also born. Her name was Subhadra. Similarly, Dashrath Maharaj also had a daughter, but she was offered in marriage, I think, to Rishishringa's age. Her name was, I think, Shanta. And Rishishringa performed a sacrifice, and due to that sacrifice, Ram was born. So anyways, since I belong to the same dynasty as you, you should not neglect me. So here Arjuna is telling that I belong to your dynasty. At present, I have fallen into a pit of doubts. I have just said that the soul Atma is completely distinct from inert qualities or mundane relationships. Who then impels the jivas to engage in sinful acts if such action is not their constitutional nature? So here Arjuna is telling that karpanya dosho ko hatas svabhava pruchamitam dharma sammuda cheta yes shreyastam nishitam bruhitam me online class.
Yes, I want to give information. Tomorrow, at what time you are going to Rajasthan?
I'm going by train to Kapil Prabhu's house.
Oh, you are going to Delhi.
Delhi. But you can take, what you do is, you can take train to Jaipur. And from Jaipur, 100 rupees, you can take a bus to get down at Pauta. From Pauta, you will get right to there. Shubhayatra.
From Pauta?
Pauta, yeah. Tomorrow morning, I think 7 o'clock, there is a train to Jaipur.
What about in the evening time? I think better to go in the morning time only. Because how many kilometers from here?
Jaipur? I'll come to your room. 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Maybe hours?
Yeah, I'm just online giving class and people are waiting. So I'll just come to your room. Where is your room?
In the Brahmachari room.
I'll just come in 2 minutes. So, thank you. Hare Krishna. No, sorry about that. So, so here you see that doubts are like pit. Doubts are like pit. So doubts actually more dangerous than a pit. We have doubts. So you have just said that the soul, Atma, is completely distinct from the inner qualities or mundane relationships. So basically, the soul and the matter are different. Bhumi rapo nalo vayo khammano buddhi revacha ahankari temme bhinna prakriti rishtra aparyam itasto manyam prakritim viddhime param jiva bhutam mahabhav yedam dharite jagat. So basically, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. This is the 8 elements which constitutes our gross and subtle body. And then the soul is distinct from that. Soul is distinct from that. So, lot of times you see that persons are haunted by ghosts, and then there are what are the ghosts basically? The ghosts are actually the persons who die of premature death, accidental death. Such persons enter into ghostly species and they haunt others because they have no gross senses to enjoy. So they haunt others and try to enjoy the facility given through their body. Understand? So then they can be delivered by giving them Ekadashi benefit or Mahaprasad like this. Understand? So anyways, the matter and the soul, they are different. So who then impels the jivas to engage in sinful acts? What is the reason that the living entity engages in the sinful acts? So jiva has nothing to do with the matter. Because suppose you are taking rasgulla, for example. Rasgulla or gulab jamun or malpua, khichdi, whatever it is, or anything, or liquor, cigarettes, all these things. These are all material things, understand? And the soul is completely spiritual. So how the soul which is spiritual attracted to these material things? This is the question Arjuna is asking. So the next verse 37 will shed light on this important question of Arjuna, where Shri Bhagwan Vacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajo Guna Samudbhava Mahashano Mahapatma Vidhenam Ihavairinam. Shri Bhagwan Vacha. Shri Bhagwan said, Kama Esha, this desire to enjoy sense objects, Krodha Esha, transformed into this Wrath. Rajoguna, the binding force of passion. Samudbhava, which is born of Maha Ashanaha, all devouring. Mahapapma, extremely fearsome. Vidhi, no. Enam, this, here in this world, Vairinam, the enemy. Shri Bhagwan said, this lust, the desire to enjoy sense objects, which indeed transforms into wrath, is born of passion. It is all devouring and extremely fearsome. Know it to be the primary enemy of the living entities within this world. So here, Shri Bhagwan said this lust, the desire to enjoy sense objects, which indeed transforms into wrath, is born of passion. So this is actually Rajogun. It is all devouring and extremely fearsome. Know it to be the primary enemy of the living entities within this world. Saratvarshini, Kama, the desire for sense objects, invariably engages a person in sinful actions. Impelled by it, he acts sinfully. This lust appears in a different form as anger, krodha. This is directly seen. So actually you see that in a material world, the desire for sense objects. Now so many paramours. Actually in India you see that there is a boy and there is a girl, they are in love. And the boy has gone to the house of the girl to meet in the night. And then out of the lust for the girl he has gone. But he is detected by the girl's father or her brother or relatives, and they will almost kill him. Or they might injure him severely. Now they also should not be angry. But they will become angry also, and there is so many times killing takes place. So basically, sometimes you see that the wife has not cooked proper food, then husband becomes angry, and he takes very horrible steps to punish his wife. So this is going on actually. This is all going on many times. So basically, when your lust is not satisfied, the anger comes. That is what is happening. There was a boy. His father had given him a car worth 50 lakhs, but he was demanding a car worth 1 crore. So what he did, he said, father said, I already given you 50 lakh rupees of car, it's an expensive car. Why don't you use that? He said, no. And then he went to the bridge and then he dropped his car from the bridge into the river. And then police asked him that what happened. He said that I purposefully dropped the car in the river from the overbridge so that I can get a new car. You see, this is the height. This is the height of his lust. Lust doesn't mean only for opposite sex. Lust also means for gadgets, new iPhone, or say new iPad, or new car, or say new jewelry, new sari, and all those things. So all these things actually, so when it is a transformation. So this is a transformation. When your lust is not satisfied, it converts into anger. When a desire for sense object is obstructed, it transforms into anger. This lust, which is born from the material mode of passion, gives rise to anger, which is in the mode of ignorance. So you see that the lust is in the mode of passion, Rajoguna, and anger is in the mode of ignorance. Anger is even worse. Anger is even worse. Lust we can understand at least. We can understand lust. It is understandable. Someone has lust. But anger is actually even worse. Anger is even worse. And when you are angry, actually, then, for example, someone is having a love for a girl. Someone has, attraction for a girl. And if he doesn't get to enjoy some girl or boy, then that person will shoot other innocent persons due to anger, or take revenge upon others who are not at all connected with this. Then that is ignorance. The anger is always in the mode of ignorance. So if you are lust, understandable, it's passion. But anger is not understandable. Anger is even worse. So one may ask, will a person's expectation for sense object be satiated once his desires are fulfilled? Sri Bhagavan responds by saying, Mahashana, it's all devouring. In the Smritis it is said, now, yat prathivyam vrihiyavam hiranyam pashavastriya nalam ekasya tat sarvam iti matva samam raje. All the grains, barley, gold, animals, women, and so forth on earth cannot satisfy the lust of even one man. So what's happening that you may get as many women as you like. There was actually Rajneesh. Rajneesh was living in India, and he went to America. Then he started his ashram in Oregon. Then he came also to Pune. Another ashram was started actually in Pune. So basically, what Rajneesh was advocating was hedonistic lifestyle. He said that you are attraction for sex life, all right. So you have attraction for opposite sex. So engage in as much sense enjoyment as you can. And when you engage in so much sense enjoyment, then you'll not be any more attracted to sense enjoyment. So, but actually that's not the case. Because here Bhagavatam says that you can get all the women in the world to enjoy. Not just one or two women. One or two beautiful women, like in India, Muslims can marry maybe four women. Hindus sometimes we are having two wives also. That's okay. Or you may have but some people have many girlfriends. I see the United States, 100, 200, 300, countless. They tell, I had 300 girlfriends. I had 300 girlfriends so far. As if they're just counting. But not that you get all the women in the world as girlfriends. All the women are your girlfriends. All the women in the world. And you have all the grains in the world, like all the barley, all the rice, all the wheat, all the millets, all grains. All the great stuff is the buckwheat and everything. You have all the gold in the world. Entire means all the mines in South Africa, all the gold which Russia has, America has, India has, it's all yours. All the animals you have, like the cows and buffaloes and yaks and llamas and yamas or llamas, whatever they call it, they're all yours. And still, it cannot satisfy even one man. One man cannot be satisfied. It means that your desire is so unlimited. Everyone's desire is so unlimited. One man's desire cannot be fulfilled by all these facilities of sex or sense gratification. You understand? So it means that actually this shows that we have vast desire. So what to do? Then Bhagavatam says that it is best to understand this and become contentment. So Swami Maharaj used to say that yes, you are married now, be satisfied with one wife. Don't look for another wife. He was telling, I'm getting you married. He used to perform marriage also. And then he said, be satisfied with the wife. So you have to be content. All right, I have got some grains. I got maybe 2 chapatis, 4 chapatis I can eat. And fine, that's fine. I should be satisfied with that. If I extra, I can give to someone else. Like for example, chipped rice. Like I was coming on a train, then I told Charu Krishna Prabhu, Prabhu, I'll be on the train. All right, so I said, what, Maharaj, what should I make? Then I said, you make some chapatis and you make some chipped rice. So Charu Prabhu made 2 types of chipped rice. One is called poha, poha, and one was actually the chiuda. Chiuda means actually it will last longer, and it is roasted in the kadai, and that's why it lasts longer. But poha is little wet, so it will not last more than 14 hours. It will go bad. But poha, the chipped rice, is better. I was thinking what today also Premdas Shastriji mentioned about Raghunath Das Goswami. That Raghunath Das Goswami had to satisfy Nityananda Prabhu, and that festival also come Panihati festival. In Panihati festival, he satisfied Nityananda Prabhu first. And then Nityananda Prabhu had told him that the lotus feet of Gauranga is my property. Unless you satisfy me and my associates who are in Sakhyaras, you will not get the lotus feet of Gauranga. And if you don't get the lotus feet of Gauranga, then you will not get the lotus feet of Radha Krishna. So he satisfied Nityananda Prabhu, and what he offered to him was chipped rice. And chipped rice, yogurt and milk. And Dr. Chajed, actually, he has a YouTube channel. He always talks about heart problems, reversing the heart problems without surgery. Himself a doctor, but he talks about it. And he says, what is a good food? Rice or chipped rice? And he said that chipped rice is better, because chipped rice is apparently they boil the rice along with the shell, means the covering. The paddy is boiled along with the covering, and then after that, by pounding it, they remove the covering. Understand? So, but in the white rice, the problem is that everything is polished. Everything is polished. Means all the nice nutrients are polished away in the polishing mills, like in Siriguppa or Bellary, where I read last week. So he said chipped rice is better. Chipped rice is better. So I had that on the train. And chapatis I had with beet. Beet is actually amazing. Beet and raw beet I took, because Maharaj is telling that Coimbatore clinic, a lot of people they are everything adverse to take only raw vegetables. So anyways, it's no problem. And suppose I make, say, if Charu Krishna Prabhu would have given me some sabji, then it would have gone bad due to the temperature. Understand? Suppose he had made beet sabji, boiled beet sabji, it would not last more than 12 hours, because that is dead. Understand? Dead. After you boil it, it's gone. But when you are actually carrying the beet root, raw one, they 1 day, 2 days, 3 days also no problem, because they are living food. That is what they call the raw food. But anyways, and I found that actually it is comfortable to carry some raw vegetables and eat with chapati. But the Coimbatore clinic is telling that only subsistence vegetables. So the question is desired. Do we have to control it with or any allied ranks? Pakistan team, Pakistan treaty, East Pakistan, Pakistan treaty, England treaties, like that, or Iran treaties, like that. So Bhagwan is saying it's extremely formidable. So Vikritam Brajavedam Vishnu Shraddhanito Anushonaya Ratavarna Yidya. Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Pratilabdha Kamam Rudrogam Ashro Koneti Achirena. Hearing the sweet pastimes of Radha Krishna, that is the only antidote. Otherwise, lust is uncontrollable. Lust and greed have been described as the prime enemies of those jivas on the path towards liberation. So Kama, the desire to enjoy sense objects, is specifically the original enemy. Krodha, anger, is just one of its transformations. Actually, today, Premdas Shastri was making a point. He was quoting a verse, and he was talking about Radha Krishna Pranay Vikrtir Ladiri Shaktirasmat. Ekat Manavo Bhuigura Dega Vedam Gatauto. Chaitanyathyam Prakatam Adunat Tadvair Chakyamatam Radha Bhava Duti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. So here, Vikar, Maharaj was telling that Vikar means transformation. He says that Vikar here doesn't mean transformation in this verse, but means condensation. For example, we say that the Vikar of milk is yogurt. Means yogurt is the transformation of the milk. But here, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikrutir means the condensation of Pranaya. It becomes more condensed, then it goes to the stage of Mahabhava. Mahabhava Swarupaya Gunarati Variyasi. Radharani is the embodiment of Mahabhava. Mahabhava is nothing but the condensation. For example, if you compare the Bhavavastha, which you are studying in Madhya Kadambini, to the seed of sugar cane, then sugar cane juice is comparable to the Prema. And then molasses is comparable to the Sneha. And then basically candy, rock candy, and like that. So more and more condensation is taking place. So the original problem is the karma. We desire the sense objects, and when the sense objects are not fulfilled, then anger comes. And there are hundreds and thousands of examples of this in India. Recently, in one society in Mumbai, one man was there, and his wife, he had good business, but then in COVID time, he maybe lost his business, and then apparently due to his economic failure in his COVID situation, his wife left and went to the in-laws house along with the children. And he had told the society members that where he was residing, that local society members, please try to mend my relationship with my wife. But they couldn't mend it. They had meetings. And then when she left to her father's home along with the children, he went on rampage. He killed so many innocent persons actually and hurt them badly. So this is because he had this attraction for his wife, which is material attraction. So it is like lust. And when it was not satisfied, then it became anger. Understand? So this happens many, many times. Anger. So lust has been described as Mahashan, an enemy whose belly is never filled. So this is like many, many demons like Kumbhakarna. Kumbhakarna was also always very hungry, voracious eater he was. When Kumbhakarna wakes up once in a year, he would eat so many buffaloes, so much beef and so much goats, mutton, chicken, everything he would eat, and drink so much liquor and fall asleep again. So he was like Kumbhakarna. So Srimad Bhagavatam, this is seen in the life history of Yati Maharaj. Yati Maharaj apparently was enjoying with Sharmi, Brahmin, Kshatriya. The most beautiful girls in the world, but he was not satisfied. He was enjoying Krishna Vartneva Bhuya Eva Vivardhate. Number of lusty desires. When desires are intensified, they do not disappear. This yavam naduyanti manah pritim on earth satisfy the lust of one. Example is Ravan. On the way, some persons from Meerut, and Udara means waist. Generally, girl is considered very beautiful if she has very thin waist. And basically, that is a sign of girl's beauty. Swami Maharaj says, thin waist, and up. So this line of Mandodari was so beautiful. And especially the Apsaras, especially girls are considered very beautiful. Harimara says, of Europeans, the best girls are most beautiful. Now is, he's on top of harem. Everything he had, but he was still still lusting after Sita. But who was Sita? Sita was actually, Gurudev tells a story that Ram so other blood. So all the blood of that picture. And then he told Mandodari that this is the blood of all the sadhus I collected from all over the earth planet. Then Mandodari said, this is very dangerous. He said, this blood of sadhus will devour you, destroy you. This blood should not be in our Lanka, otherwise Lanka will be finished. That's where the blood will fall, place will never understand. So what she did, she secretly sent away that earthen picture. She told Ravan to dispose it of. So Ravan went to the kingdom of Janak Maharaj and he planted that particular golden pitcher in the ground. And he secretly came back. And then what happened? Lord of the stay in that kingdom, there was a famine, absolute drought. So we are told to do a fast sacrifice and also the golden plow and golden plow. Himself, not a bull, but himself should pull a golden plow and do some plow, which is hard doing that. And as you were saying, there's a portion of the plow, as they call it, that's what the picture, golden picture, a girl emanated, that was Sita. So basically, the Sita was actually formed from the blood of all the sadhus, they say like this. Anyways, and she turned out to be the death for Ravana. So basically, this lust, what Ravana had, he was never satisfied. Did he have short of any? He wanted blood, then he could have taken blood from any goat or something. Why take blood from the sadhus? Understand? So anyway, that blood of the sadhus only devoured him in the shape of Sita. Understand? So lust, Ravana is the great example of lust. He's also the eternal student of Vishnu. He's also Jaya and Vijay. So an enemy is controlled by the four principles: appeasement, Sama, Dama, Danda, Bheda. For example, Sama. Sama means, suppose I have a fight with someone. Then what you have to do? You have to just glorify. Suppose I have a fight with some Prabhu. Then I can, Prabhu, you are from Bengal. Bengal is a great Acharya's land. Or Bhakti Pragyan Keshava is also from Bengal. And also Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was also from Bengal. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born in Bengal. Bengalis are blessed. Then he will be satisfied because I have glorified it. Understand? And then, or I can give him, and so someone is angry with me, and my enemy is angry with me, I can give him some bribe. All right, Prabhu, what I'll do, I'll send you 1,000 rupees. Like this. That's called bribing. Understand? And then, otherwise, if that doesn't really work, you create division of power. Suppose you don't get along with some Prabhu and he's getting very strong, then what you do is you create a quarrel with another Prabhu. you tell the bad qualities of this Prabhu to that Prabhu and that quality of that Prabhu to this Prabhu. And sometimes you superimpose the bad qualities on there. And you create a fight and you watch from distance. Understand? This is actually not Vaishnavas shouldn't do that, but this king used to do that. He used to create divisions by using a very cunning nature. This is called cunning nature, to create fight between the two persons. And then punishment. And if that doesn't work, then you simply try to destroy them by physical force, attack them. So these are basically, this is called diplomacy. And Prahlad was not interested in this diplomacy which Shanda and Amarka were teaching. So Shanda means actually bull and Amarka means actually monkey. So they were teaching this type of diplomacy, and Vaishnavas are not interested in this type of duplicity and diplomacy. They are straightforward persons, and they tell them the truth. Like our Guru was straightforward. Sripad Dandi was also very straightforward. If he had done something wrong, he'll immediately tell you right on your face that what Prabhu or Maharaj, what he is doing is wrong. Understand? He will not mince the word. So one time he told me that my name is Dandi Maharaj. Dandi means actually a lot of punishment. He said, Gurudev has given me this name. Dandi is right to punish, he said. I said, yes, Maharaj, your name is really appropriate. Your name is Dandi. So your punishment means Danda. I understand. So anyways, but we are not, so elevated. We cannot try to punish others. Only Gurudev, Sripad Dandi Maharaj, they can punish, because elevated Vaishnavas can chastise others. If we are not power to rectify them, we should not chastise others, but we can gently suggest something. That's what we can do. Chastisement is meant for Guru. Gurudev can chastise, Vaishnavas can chastise. So Shodhaya Shodha means really correct. Shodhaya Amare Tomara Charana Oye Vaishnava Thakur Dayar Sagar Edase Karuna Kori. Shodhaya Amar means please correct me. If I have done something wrong, please correct me. Vaishnavas when correct us, so many anarthas are gone. So here Shri Bhagavan is explaining that this formidable enemy, she not be called by appeasement or rivalry with them, and we try to divide. Because so he is thus indicating that one should not use the principles of punishment to control the desire for results. This is be destroyed when one acquires weapon of knowledge of the self. Atma actually by Atma Jnana. काशाचे भजनाने निमांदुवा मध्ये वास्तु व्याख्या अथवा मुनिव्रतधरा चित्त भवक्षीयते किंतु स्वीत कलिंद शैलातरा विदेशी विक्रीडितो गोविंदस्य पदारविंद भजना रंभस्त निशादति. So by taking limited food or instead putting on saffron clothes Govinda, then that should be controlled. Whenever it was comes like this. Bhagwan said, with the no, enam, this here in the material world, where enam, greatest enemy. The blessed Lord said, not stone, it is not material. And later transformed, which is the people enemy of this world. When the living entity comes in contact with the material creation, Krishna into lost as contact is then again love is unsatisfied, is transformed into illusion, and illusion continues material existence. Is the love is Ra manifests as Raj and cause very into the boats and so saved from the by spiritual Supreme Personality in bliss. It so basically, the problem is, sir, that is enjoyment we have problem. It's a scare. Even desire for success. So we have to be very, very careful in this real world. We have that satisfied. We try to enjoy our own success legally. Actually cover the we want to so they just give the reflect in the position. These things are even excellent actually in these classes like this. But anyways, not actually to so I was talking homosexuality, and then he said homosexuality, and then he said that this is men enjoys women. Finally, they actually it's just, Gurudev, they have right to do bhakti. They cannot say no just because you have this type of sexual, that type of. So then you are actually Amar Das, the leader of the ISKCON wing of bicycle and all that. That you need to do bhakti. They said we right extra conscious and he said
Hare Krishna, dear Dear Dhanvat from. Sorry, I think Marge is having a network problem. He should join us soon. We'll wait for him. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Marge, Dhanvat from. You're on mute.
Hare
Krishna.
So Swami Maharaj actually was talking about this lust, and then he was telling that he said we go to Prospect Park. He said this girl comes American big dogs. Many girls told me that they have sex with these dogs in this. And India also this is going on now. Many times people are caught they are doing atrocities even on the animals for their lust alone. And they're caught actually. They don't know that there are laws in place actually to atrocities, the sexual atrocities on the animals, poor animals, whatever species they may be. They are actually punished by understand. Is actually PETA and all those organizations. So lust can go unrestricted lust can go to any extent. And trying to satisfy. So we read literature and so see this actually. Then we like that there is limit. There is no limit that we are seeing everywhere. This is for my enjoyment. This is for my enjoyment. Idamas mapi भविष्य पुनर्धन ईश्वर अहम भोगी सिद्धो हम बलवान सुखी अभ्योजन महाराष्ट्र कोन्य सदृशमय is for modern age. It is a timeless book. Matra swastra dhritracha. The vivikasana bhavet. Balavan indriya krama vidvamsamapi karshiti. Bhagavatam tells us, don't sit on the same seat with your daughter, with your mother, even with your sister. It is quite unlikely that you will be attracted to your daughter or your mother or sister. But Bhagavad says that senses are so strong, you cannot trust them. You cannot trust the senses. So Bhagavad why speaks like this? Many times words appear very harsh, but that is true. The lust is so strong. This is a perverted language. What we have to do that we should always maintain safe distance. Always maintain the safe distance. Woman is compared to the fire and man. So either way, maintaining and always Hare Krishna, always remembering Radha and Guru, always chanting and not eating very palatable foodstuffs. Anil Prabhu says, Rukha Sukha Khao, Ito, Ganesh Khao, Kamko Bula. If you are eating food, sweets, lot of ghee, then what happens? So you cannot control the urge of your tongue, urge of your speech and tongue, then what will happen? Eat lot of belly. As a result, what will happen? It will keep pressure on your belly and as it will happen to the opposite. So Rupa Goswami is telling us that we have to control everything comes from the tongue. जैसा अन्न वैसा मन जैसे पानी वैसे वाणी जैसा आहार वैसे विचार. That your food decides your thoughts. Understand? So that's why only take prasadam like Shipadandi Maharaj. He is a great example. Our Gurudev Shipadandi Maharaj, they completely control their tongue. They eat only prasadam, they honor only prasadam, and they always take in limited quantity, and they always try to take fresh and healthy. Like I see Shipadandi always avoid something that is over processed like sugar or something that is not hygienic because of his health issue and also his age, but also discrimination because health is well. So process. So Rupa Goswami and Srila Kanak Kamini Pratishtha. Kanak Kamini Pratishtha. Again, so actually these are three tigresses: desire for gold, and desire for means opposite sex, and also for fame and adultery. So the enemy and lust can be destroyed when one acquires the weapon of knowledge and the self-atma. So here Swami Maharaj is saying this very clearly. How much you enjoy sense objects. So if therefore mode passion instead of being degraded into the modes of ignorance are elevated to modes of goodness by the prescribed method of living and acting, then one can be saved from the degradation of wrath by spiritual attachment. Into this ever increasing spiritual bliss. And the living entity is parts and parcel of this spiritual bliss. They also have partial independence. But the misuse of this, their independence, when the service is transformed into propensity, they come under the sway of lust. The material creation is created by the Lord to facilitate the conditions to fulfill this capacities. And when completely baffled by prolonged lustful activities, the living entities begin to inquire about resurrection. This inquiry is the beginning of the Vedanta society. It is said at Athapati. So it is a great example. There were a lot of Krishna consciousness. They had prolonged activities, no limit, and girlfriend was very common that time. Some of them were, not even aware of they are having clothes or not having clothes. Understand? So it was a hedonistic lifestyle. Do as you like, do as you please, and they're defining the system. They started defining the social laws and the social standards of like well and big house and beautiful wife and that this doesn't give satisfaction. So they're rebellious about rebel. And that is the time where the Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj went to America. And many hippies come from Kerala. And if you are hungry in my 26 so there is one storefront even today, and there it was painted there, the matchless gifts. Right behind that road, actually, 25 first finished because Nandi Maharaj built another preaching center. So this inquiry is the beginning of the Vedanta, where it is said, Atha Brahmaji. Where there is intelligence into the Supreme. So what Srila Gurudev was doing, what Shah was doing, Srila Bhaktivedanta Dandi was distributing khichdi every day. Srila Dandi was to cook khichdi, offer it to Krishna. He'll go to Town Square Park and distribute them up to the homeless persons, poor persons, street persons. Now, prasadam, some intelligence will dawn in their head and they start trying to understand these subtle topics. निवृत्त तर्षे उपज्ञे मानव भविष्य श्रोत्र मनोविराम तो उत्तम श्लोक गुणानुवादात बिना पशु गुना eating only पशु गुना food means killing certainly eating the flesh, the intelligence will never dawn in their head. So that's why Gandhi was distributing khichdi to these people. They will get to the Mahaprasad. Mahaprasad is not different from Krishna. It's Anna Brahma. So Krishna mercy will come upon them. So the inquiry is the beginning. We should ask, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. This is the first Vedanta. Then in Madhva Sampradaya, Om and last Om. Om Athato Jigyasa Om. Any mantra which is recited without beginning Om and Om is not discussed. So what to say? And so any Vedanta Sutra should be uttered with Om in beginning and end with Om. Now you could inquire into the Supreme and the Srimad Bhagavatam as Jan says where the Sabbath is therefore the origin of lust is also in the Supreme. If therefore lust is transferred to love for the Supreme or transformed into the Krishna consciousness, or in other words, desiring everything for people, both love and the spiritualist. So basically, here Swami Maharaj is telling that there is origin of lust is also Bhagavan. Bhagavan api tarati sharadut vikshananto manas chakre yoga maya savan sita. For example, some boy is sending a message to a girl on WhatsApp that please come and meet me in this particular park in the dead of night, or maybe in this solitary place we can meet. Now, where this propensity has come in that boy to send a WhatsApp message to her. Basically, that is coming from Krishna only, because the origin of lust is also Krishna. Calling gopis. Did the gopis call Krishna? No. Krishna. They were happily sleeping in their homes. But then Krishna only remembered them. So Gurudev says, who needed who? Gopis didn't need Krishna. Krishna needed gopis. So that is propensity to attract gopis is Krishna. But it's perverted for the love of the girl. Understand? So there is that lust, that the spiritual world. But it's perverted with lust. Understand? So in other words, desiring everything for Krishna, then both lust and wrath can be spiritualized. But like gopis, Gopya Kamat Bhayat also Deshat Chaitanya Aham Bhakta. Gopya Kama, gopis completely control Krishna by their Kama. But Kama eva Gopuramana Prema. The Kama of the people is also love. Understand? Gopis, they regarded Krishna as their paramour and as their sweetheart. Okay? And God accepted. So, anyways, however one is attached to Krishna, then that person will meet success. Like Mirabai. Mirabai was dancing for Krishna. She decorated herself for Krishna. मेरे तो गिरधर गोपाल दूसरा लोग हुआ. And once her husband told Mirabai to do, she said, never dance for any material man. Even if you are my husband, I will not speak. I can only dance for my Krishna. And in front of her, she told her and she told her husband's name was Bhoja. And she told that, please, you should find some other girl. It is not possible for me to satisfy your desires and dance for you. Only my only husband is Krishna. I will only dance for him. I only try to satisfy him. If you want sense gratification, find some other queen. After some time, husband Bhoja, he died, and then her another he became the king. Another some so many atrocities on her. Mirabai. But Mirabai left her in-laws place and she became a Sufi. So therefore the origin is also in the Sufi. Therefore lust is transformed to love for the Supreme. Like she transformed her lust into love for the Supreme, the gopis also. And what we have to do is we have to Krishna. We should try to love Krishna. Because everyone wants some beautiful, understand, as a companion. That is natural. Girl, my boyfriend should be handsome. Any boy will say, my girl should be very beautiful. That is natural. Yeah. That is natural. We are always searching for the beauty, the thing of beauty. But the source of all the beauty. Then the source of all beauty is Krishna. And means is actually Ashray Shakti, that is Radharani. That is also very beautiful. Like Gita Govinda Krishna says, Krishnotava Madalase, Vadaramdu Satam Gatirjanma Vijita Lambam Urudva Ratistam Chira Chitram Lekhe Varova was it only that you are living on the earth, but you are fitting the beauty of all the heavenly deities. Who are you? Well, Krishna is so much covered by Yoga Maya that doesn't know that this is my eternal Radharani. Krishna is seeing the beauty of Radharani. So who can be more beautiful than the Radharani? Who can be more beautiful than Krishna in this world? Huh? So very nice. Chikuram Bahalam Vidalam Modulam Bachanam Vitulam Nayanam Adharam Maduram Vadanam Maduram Chakalam Charitam Chakradana Vivu. Krishna is very beautiful, curly locks of hair, red lips. So that is what it is. Very, very charming. Therefore, the origin of lust is also in the Supreme. If therefore lust is transformed into love for the Supreme, or transformed into Krishna consciousness, or in other words, desiring everything for Krishna, then both lust and wrath can be spiritualized. Hanuman, the great servitor of Lord Ram, engaged with his wrath upon his enemies for the satisfaction of the Lord. Therefore, lust and wrath, when they are employed in Krishna consciousness, becomes our friends instead of our enemies. Like Hanuman, for example, he set entire Lanka on fire. He was so angry because they set his tail on fire and they were criticizing Ram and they were not willing to give Sita in return. Hanuman said, I will teach them a lesson. So Hanuman not that, oh, Trunadevi Sunichena in front of Rakshasas. No. He just set the entire, except for the division's house and Ashok one where Sita was staying, he set entire Lanka on fire. Understand? So this is anger. So actually, this is topics actually. Please forgive me if I spoke something harsh. But when I read sometimes Swami Maharaj conversations, room conversations, and then I realize that actually how the lust is so difficult to conquer. And that's why Srila Gurudev used to say that if you think that you will conquer lust, and then you will 10 kind of Bhagavatam or Ras Panchayat or Venu Gita, Brahma Gita, and he said, you are suppose I have to cross Jamuna river and I am sitting on the shore of Jamuna and I want to go to say Belwan, where Lakshmi is doing austerities. And then it is, Yamuna is very deep. You cannot swim across. And there is no bridge on. If I say that I just keep on waiting for 1 day, 2 days, why you are waiting here 5 days at Keshighat or what I want? Actually, he said I am just waiting for Jamuna's water to flow by, and when Jamuna will dry, I will cross. That will never happen. Jamuna will never dry. And Haridwar, Ganga will always be full of water. Jamuna will always be full of water. So you cannot say that the day must end, I will engage in that day never come. You have to do it with the lust and greed and anger. Slowly, by doing automatically, lust will minimize and go away. And so, even Narakati Pushpayate, Durdandi Kala Sarvapatami Prokhada Naishvayate, Vishwa Society, Radishita, Gauram Evas. Pramana Saraswati part of the incarnation of Single He says that Kaivalam Narakayate and Durdandi India Kala Sarvapatami Prokhada Naishvayate, all these and for opposite sex and gold and meat and flesh, all these are like fangs of poisonous serpents. But when you surrender to Mahaprabhu and you get the mercy of Mahaprabhu and Guru Dev Vaishnavas, then these uncontrolled senses, which are like the poisonous multi-hooded snakes, they become like fangless. Hence, the snakes without any poisonous teeth. The snakes whose poisonous teeth have
Hare Krishna Maharaj, we cannot hear you. Hare Krishna. Hare Maharaj. Sorry, devotees, I don't know what happened to Maharaj. Hare Hare Krishna Maharaj. Sorry, at the snake part, your voice went off.
the snake Mahaprabhu association. He says that
your voice is
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol, Hari. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Sorry, your voice is crackling. I think you're sick.
Cutting, okay. Hari Bol.
It's not clear.
Hari Bol. Or maybe no problem, okay.
Jai Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. All right, so maybe Hare Krishna. Because of this, some signal problem, all right? Hare Krishna. So what I'm saying is that when you get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, your all the senses become like fangless serpents. Huh? So snakes whose fangs have been removed are not dangerous. Even our uncontrolled senses, if they're controlled by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's love and affection, then they are not so dangerous. All right? Hare Krishna. Dandot Pranam. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhya paritanam pavanebhyo vishnu Haribo. So I'm here at Roop Sanatana. I am in Rup Sanatana Gaudiya in Vrindavan. Hare
जी
Krishna. Dandavad. Hare Krishna. Thank you so
sorry
much.
Marge, what thank you. So what page did you stop at?
Pardon? We are actually
What page did you stop at, Marge?
verse number 338. 338. 338. 338. Verse number chapter 3, verse number 38. All right. Domena Vriyate Vanni Yathadarsham Male. All right. Hare Krishna. Jai Vancha Kalpatra Vishya Kripa Sindhu. Bhajana Bhajapur Namana. जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गांधार दीपा की धारी श्री राधा विनोद बिहार जी की जय। जय नितला पृष्ठ जय गुरु शिष्य भक्तिदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज गुरुदेव की जय। नितला पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत भक्तिदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नितला पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत भक्तिदांत विक्रम गोसाई महाराज की जय। नितला पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत गोविंद गोसाई महाराज की जय। लीला पृष्ठ विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत भक्तिदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय। आचार्य के शिष्यमत भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। सपरिकर जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से गौस्वामी चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गोवर्धन द्वादश गुणात्मक मंडल की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। त्रिदंडी स्वामी शिष्य भक्तिदान दंडी महाराज जी की जय। नामनिष्ठ संत श्री अनिरुद्ध दास प्रभु की जय। बटे से गोविंद की जय। धर्मवासी भक्त वृंद की जय। समागत भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। Dandavats. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Dandavats.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavad Prams. Thank you so much. Shripad Bhaktivedanta Vishnu Daivata Mj ki jai. Vanchakapaturu Kripasinni BV Vishnu Bhavani Vaishnavi Namo Vaishnavi Namo. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavad Prams. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining. And we see you all tomorrow for Madhurya Kadambani. Marge, you available same time tomorrow, or is your time changing?
Actually, I'm actually going to Gurgaon tomorrow. I have a train tomorrow. I will try to make it by 7 o'clock. If not possible by 7, at the most it will be 8 o'clock. Let me, because I'll be on the train. Tomorrow my train is I think 12 o'clock. It takes generally 3 hours by train to Delhi and then 2 hours to maybe. So by 5 o'clock I should be in Gurgaon. I hope. So yeah. I'll try to make it by 7. Otherwise, I'll text you that I'm getting late. Then you can make it 8. All right.
Yeah, Maharaj, thank you so much for your time.
Hare
Take care and
Krishna.
Thank
Thank you, Divya. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Takatri ki jai. और वैष्णव की जय। दंडवत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्ण।
Krishna Vandana.